Before you do anything else, stop right there and listen to me. She chose him, not you. And right now your whole world feels like it got flipped upside down. That weight sitting on your chest? That sick feeling in your stomach? I know exactly what that is. It's the kind of pain that doesn't let you sleep. The kind that follows you into every room and whispers the same question over and over. Why wasn't I enough? You keep replaying every conversation. Every moment you thought meant something. Every time she smiled at you and made you believe this was real. Now all of that feels like a lie. Like you were building something on sand while she was already planning her exit. And the worst part? You didn't see it coming. You gave her everything. Your time. Your energy. Your heart with no backup plan. You showed up when she needed you. You stayed when things got hard. You chose her every single day without hesitation. But when it was her turn to choose, she looked right past you like you were invisible. That cuts deep. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But here's where I need you to pay attention. Because what I'm about to tell you might be the most important thing you hear right now. This was never about him. That guy she picked? He's not the reason you lost her. He's just the direction she decided to walk. And honestly, this isn't even about you either. I know that sounds crazy when you're the one feeling all this pain. But stay with me. This is about her. Her decisions. Her confusion. Her unfinished journey that she hasn't figured out yet. You didn't fail some test. You didn't miss some opportunity to be better. She simply chose a road that was never meant for you. And chasing her down that road? That's the worst thing you could do right now. Not because you're weak. Not because you don't care. But because you finally need to recognize something you've been ignoring. You matter too. Your peace matters. Your dignity matters. Your future matters. And none of that should be sacrificed for someone who already made her choice without you in it. I know right now you feel broken. Like the best part of you just walked out the door holding someone else's hand. But that's not the truth. That's just the pain talking. That's just the shock making everything feel worse than it actually is. What's really happening here? This is your wake-up call. This is the moment everything changes. Not because she left, but because you finally get to see what you've been putting up with. You finally get to ask yourself what you actually deserve. And brother, it's so much more than this. The second she walks away, your brain goes into panic mode. It starts screaming at you to do something. Anything. Call your boys. Hit up that girl who's been in your DMs. Post something on social media showing the world you're fine. Numb the pain with whatever distraction you can find. But I need you to fight that urge with everything you have. That emptiness you're feeling right now? That quiet that's so loud it's almost unbearable? Most people run from it. They treat it like a disease they need to cure immediately. They fill every second with noise because sitting alone with their thoughts feels like torture. Don't make that mistake. This silence isn't your enemy. It's not some punishment the universe is handing you for losing her. This is actually the greatest opportunity you've had in years. Maybe in your entire life. Think about it like this. You've been living in chaos. Your mind was always focused on her. What she wanted. What she needed. How to make her happy. How to keep her interested. Your entire existence revolved around someone else's emotions and decisions. Now suddenly that's gone. The noise stopped. The chaos ended. And you're standing in complete stillness for the first time in who knows how long. This is where the magic happens. But only if you let it. See, most men will do anything to avoid this moment. They'll jump into another relationship before the first one is even cold. They'll party every weekend until they forget her name. They'll work themselves to exhaustion just so they don't have to face what's really going on inside. But those men never heal. They just delay the pain. They bury it under temporary fixes until it explodes later in ways they never expected. You have a different choice right now. You can sit in this discomfort and actually learn something from it. You can use this quiet space to finally hear your own voice again. Not the voice that was trying to please her. Not the voice that was constantly worried about losing her. Your real voice. The one that knows who you are and what you actually want. That version of you has been buried under all the noise of this relationship. Under all the arguments. Under all the compromises you made. Under all the times you shrank yourself to fit into her world. Now there's nothing blocking him anymore. Now he can finally speak. But he won't show up if you keep running. He won't appear if you drown him out with distractions. He only comes through in the stillness, in the moments when you're alone with nothing but your thoughts and the courage to face them. Let this emptiness crack you open. Let it expose everything you've been hiding from yourself. I already know where your mind went the second you found out about him. You started building this image, this perfect version of the guy she chose instead of you. And now you're torturing yourself with questions that have no answers. Is he better looking? Does he make more money? Is he funnier? More confident? Does he have something you could never compete with? Your brain is running through every possible thing that makes him superior. And with each comparison, you're shrinking yourself down a little more, making yourself feel smaller and smaller until you barely recognize the man you used to be. Stop it right now. You're destroying yourself over a competition that doesn't even exist. There's no scoreboard. There's no judge holding up ratings. There's no contest where she weighed you against him and he came out on top. That's not how any of this works. You've created a monster in your head. Some flawless version of this dude that probably looks nothing like reality. You don't know his struggles. You don't know his insecurities. You don't know the demons he fights when nobody's watching. All you see is the guy who won. But you don't see what he's actually bringing to the table behind closed doors. Maybe he's jealous. Maybe he's controlling. Maybe he's got baggage that would make your problems look like nothing. You have no idea what she actually signed up for. You just assume it's better because she picked him. But her picking him says nothing about your value. Absolutely nothing. She didn't choose him because you were lacking something. She chose him because that's where her head is right now. That's what she thinks she needs in this moment. That's the lesson she has to learn on her own. Her decision reflects her journey, not your worth. You could be everything a woman dreams about and still get passed over by someone who isn't ready for you. That doesn't mean you failed. That means she wasn't equipped to appreciate what you offered. Think about it differently. Have you ever walked past something valuable without realizing what it was? Have you ever ignored something great because you weren't in the right place to see it clearly? That's exactly what happened here. She couldn't see you. Not because you weren't worth seeing, but because her vision was clouded by her own issues. You are not an option waiting to be selected. You are not a product sitting on a shelf hoping someone picks you up. You are a man with depth and loyalty and strength that most people spend their whole lives searching for. If she couldn't recognize that standing right in front of her, then that blindness belongs to her, not you. Stop measuring yourself against a stranger. Your value was never determined by her choice. Your brain is playing tricks on you right now and you don't even realize it. Something happened the moment she left. Your memory started editing the footage, cutting out all the bad parts, keeping only the highlight reel. Suddenly she's perfect, an angel who could do no wrong, the greatest thing that ever walked into your life. And losing her feels like the biggest tragedy you've ever experienced. But wait a minute. Let's rewind this tape and watch the unedited version. Remember that night she made you feel like nothing you did was ever good enough? Remember when she went cold for days and left you wondering what you did wrong? Remember how exhausted you felt trying to read her moods and keep the peace? That happened too. All of it. But your heart doesn't want to remember those parts right now. Your heart wants to mourn something beautiful. So it's deleting all the ugly files and replacing them with a fantasy. This is dangerous territory you're walking into. Because the more you worship this fake memory, the harder it becomes to move forward. You'll spend months longing for something that never actually existed the way you remember it. She wasn't perfect. Your relationship wasn't some fairy tale romance. There were cracks in the foundation long before she walked out that door. You just kept patching them up hoping they'd disappear. Think about the arguments that went in circles. Think about the times you felt alone even when she was sitting right next to you. Think about how often you sacrificed your own needs just to keep her satisfied. That was your reality. That was the truth you lived every day. Now your mind wants to erase all of it because grief does strange things to people. It makes you romanticize the very thing that was hurting you. It makes you miss the cage because at least it felt familiar. Don't fall into that trap. Don't let missing her rewrite the history you actually lived through. She had flaws. Real ones. The kind you overlooked because you loved her. The kind you excused because you wanted things to work. Now that she's gone, those flaws seem to vanish from your memory. Bring them back. Not to hate her. Not to be bitter. but to see clearly. Because clarity is the only thing that's going to save you from running back to something that already proved it wasn't meant for you. If she truly valued your presence, she wouldn't have gone searching for something else. If she genuinely appreciated your heart, she wouldn't have handed it back and walked away. You didn't lose a perfect woman. You released a situation that was already crumbling from the inside. The fairy tale was never real. And accepting that is the first step to actually healing. Right now it feels like she held you up next to him and decided you weren't good enough. Like she ran some kind of evaluation in her head and you came up short. That's the story your pain is telling you. That's the narrative your wounded ego keeps repeating on loop. But that's not what actually happened here. Her walking away has nothing to do with your value as a man. Nothing at all. This is about direction. This is about paths splitting apart because they were never meant to stay connected. You were growing. Maybe she wasn't ready for that. You were building something real. Maybe she still craved chaos and confusion. You wanted depth. Maybe she still needed shallow waters to play in. None of that makes you insufficient. It just makes you incompatible with where she currently stands. And incompatibility is not rejection. It's information. It's life telling you that this particular door leads somewhere you were never supposed to go. Think back through your life for a second. Remember that job you desperately wanted but didn't get? The one that crushed you at the time? Then months later you landed something 10 times better and realized why the first one had to fall through. Remember that opportunity you missed and thought your life was over? Then something else showed up that made you grateful the original plan didn't work out. This is exactly the same situation. You just can't see the bigger picture yet because you're standing too close to the pain. Her choosing someone else might feel like the end of your world today. But this is actually the universe clearing space for something greater. Something you can't imagine right now because your vision is clouded with hurt. She removed herself from your future. And that removal is creating room for the right person to eventually step in. Someone who won't need convincing. Someone who won't require you to prove yourself constantly. Someone who will recognize your worth immediately. But that person can't show up if you're still clinging to someone who already let go. This isn't abandonment. This is alignment happening in real time. The wrong piece is removing itself from the puzzle so the right one can finally fit. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Every ounce of pain you feel right now is shaping you into the man who will be ready when the real thing arrives. So stop treating her exit like a death sentence. Stop viewing this as evidence that you're unworthy of love. Start seeing it for what it truly is. Protection. Redirection. A blessing disguised as heartbreak. One day you'll look back at this exact moment and understand why it had to happen. You'll be grateful she made the choice she made. Because her leaving was the only way your real life could finally begin. I know what's bubbling up inside you right now. That urge to prove yourself. That burning desire to show her she made the wrong choice. You want to fight for her. Win her back. Make her see what she's throwing away. Every fiber of your being is screaming at you to chase her down and change her mind. Don't you dare do it. The moment you pursue a woman who already picked someone else, you're not fighting for love. You're abandoning yourself. You're telling the universe that her approval matters more than your own dignity. And that's a trade you'll regret for years. Chasing her won't bring her back. It will only push her further away while destroying what little self-respect you have left. She'll see desperation. She'll sense weakness. And whatever attraction remained will evaporate completely. But more importantly, you'll lose yourself in the process. Every text you send begging for another chance chips away at your foundation. Every late night call hoping she'll pick up erodes your self-worth. Every attempt to compete with him diminishes who you really are. This isn't romance. This is self-destruction wearing a mask. Real love never requires you to crawl. Real connection never demands you sacrifice your dignity at the altar of someone's indecision. Real relationships never make you feel like you need to audition for a role you already earned. She made her choice. Now you need to make yours. And the only choice that leads anywhere good is choosing yourself. Take all that energy you want to spend chasing her and flip it inward. Redirect every ounce of that passion toward your own resurrection. Get back in the gym and rebuild your body. Attack your goals with intensity you forgot you had. Protect your mental peace like it's the most valuable thing you own. Reconnect with people who actually appreciate your presence. Becomes so focused on your own growth that her memory starts fading into background noise. This is how you win. Not by convincing her. Not by competing with him. But by becoming so locked into your own path that her decision becomes irrelevant. The man who chases looks weak. The man who improves looks powerful. And power is attractive in ways that begging never will be. Say this to yourself until it sinks in. If she couldn't recognize my value when I was fully committed, she doesn't deserve to witness my transformation. Let her wonder what happened to you. Let her hear through mutual friends that you're thriving. Let her see your evolution from a distance while she deals with whatever mess she chose instead. But never give her the satisfaction of watching you crumble. Never hand over your power by begging for scraps of attention. She walked away. That's her journey now. Yours is just beginning. And it starts with choosing yourself unapologetically. Here's something you need to understand about the pain that's eating you alive right now. Most of it has nothing to do with who she actually was. The agony you're experiencing is about who you imagined she could become. You fell in love with potential, with possibility, with a future you painted in your mind using colors she never actually provided. That woman you're mourning? The perfect one who understood you completely? The soulmate who was supposed to stand beside you forever? She never fully existed outside your imagination. You took fragments of good moments and built an entire fantasy around them. A smile here. A deep conversation there. A night when everything felt right and you convinced yourself this was your forever. But those were just moments. Not the complete picture. The complete picture includes every red flag you ignored. Every gut feeling you pushed aside. Every time your intuition screamed that something was off but you silenced it because you wanted the dream to be real. You constructed a goddess out of a regular flawed human being. And now you're grieving the death of someone who only lived in your hopes. This is why moving on feels impossible. You're not just releasing a woman. You're releasing an entire future you had already mentally moved into. The house you imagined. The life you planned. The kids you might have named. The growing old together story you told yourself late at night. All of that is crumbling and it feels like losing everything at once. But here's the truth that will eventually set you free. You cannot lose what was never real. You can only wake up from the dream and face what actually existed. And what actually existed was a woman who chose to leave. A woman who looked at what you offered and decided she wanted something different. A woman whose actions told you exactly where you stood even when her words said otherwise. That's reality. Harsh and cold but absolutely necessary. The fantasy will keep you stuck forever if you let it. It will have you waiting by your phone, checking her social media, hoping she realizes her mistake and comes running back into your arms. But she's not coming back to the version of her you created. Because that version never walked this earth to begin with. Let the illusion die. Stop resuscitating something that needs to be buried. Give yourself permission to grieve the dream so you can finally start living in the truth. Once you stop clinging to what you imagined, everything begins to shift. The fog lifts, your vision clears, and you start recognizing the difference between what your heart wanted and what your life actually delivered. That recognition hurts initially, but it also liberates you completely. Reality might sting, but fantasy keeps you imprisoned. Choose freedom. Choose truth. Choose to finally wake up. Let me tell you something that might shift your entire perspective right now. You weren't replaced by someone better. You were overlooked by someone who couldn't see what was standing right in front of her. There's a massive difference between those two things. She didn't find an upgrade. She found a distraction. Something new and shiny that caught her attention because she wasn't mature enough to appreciate substance over sparkle. That guy she chose? He represents excitement in this moment. Novelty. A fresh chapter that feels thrilling because it hasn't been tested yet. But excitement fades. Novelty wears off. And eventually she'll be standing in the same reality she ran from with you. Only this time you won't be there to catch her. See, women often don't recognize what they had until the contrast hits them. Until the new guy stops being so attentive. Until his true colors start bleeding through the charming facade. Until she remembers your patience and realizes it's nowhere to be found in her current situation. That moment is coming. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next month. But it always arrives eventually. And when it does, you need to be long gone. Not waiting. Not available. not hoping she learned her lesson, completely moved on and thriving without her. Your job isn't to teach her your value through explanations. Your job is to demonstrate it through elevation. Rise so high that she has to squint to see where you went. But here's the crucial part. You're not doing this for revenge. You're not growing just to make her regret. You're evolving because that's what you owe yourself after everything you sacrificed. The best closure isn't a conversation. It's becoming unrecognizable to everyone who underestimated you. It's building a life so fulfilling that her absence becomes a footnote instead of the main story. Let your transformation speak words your mouth never needs to say. Let your success scream louder than any argument ever could. Let your happiness be the final statement in a chapter she closed too early. She thought different meant better. Life will show her otherwise. But you won't be around to witness that lesson. You'll be too busy writing a story she's no longer part of. The right woman will never require reminders about your worth. She'll guard it like treasure from day one. She'll wake up grateful. She'll go to sleep appreciating exactly what she has. This one couldn't do that. And that disqualifies her from your future permanently. So here's your final mission. Stop mourning what left. Start building what's coming. Pour concrete over this chapter and construct something magnificent on top of it. Her walking away cracked you open. Now let greatness pour out of those cracks. You were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong person. The right one is still out there. Become ready. Let me tell you something that might shift your entire perspective right now. You weren't replaced by someone better. You were overlooked by someone who couldn't see what was standing right in front of her. There's a massive difference between those two things. She didn't find an upgrade. She found a distraction. Something new and shiny that caught her attention because she wasn't mature enough to appreciate substance over sparkle. That guy she chose? He represents excitement in this moment. Novelty. A fresh chapter that feels thrilling because it hasn't been tested yet. But excitement fades. Novelty wears off. And eventually she'll be standing in the same reality she ran from with you. Only this time you won't be there to catch her. See, women often don't recognize what they had until the contrast hits them. Until the new guy stops being so attentive. Until his true colors start bleeding through the charming facade. Until she remembers your patience and realizes it's nowhere to be found in her current situation. That moment is coming. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next month. But it always arrives eventually. And when it does, you need to be long gone. Not waiting. Not available. Not hoping she learned her lesson. Completely moved on and thriving without her. Your job isn't to teach her your value through explanations. Your job is to demonstrate it through elevation. Rise so high that she has to squint to see where you went. But here's the crucial part. You're not doing this for revenge. You're not growing just to make her regret. You're evolving because that's what you owe yourself after everything you sacrificed. The best closure isn't a conversation. It's becoming unrecognizable to everyone who underestimated you. It's building a life so fulfilling that her absence becomes a footnote instead of the main story. Let your transformation speak words your mouth never needs to say. Let your success scream louder than any argument ever could. Let your happiness be the final statement in a chapter she closed too early. She thought different meant better. Life will show her otherwise. But you won't be around to witness that lesson. You'll be too busy writing a story she's no longer part of. The right woman will never require reminders about your worth. She'll guard it like treasure from day one. She'll wake up grateful. She'll go to sleep appreciating exactly what she has. This one couldn't do that. And that disqualifies her from your future permanently. So here's your final mission. Stop mourning what left. Start building what's coming. Pour concrete over this chapter and construct something magnificent on top of it. Her walking away cracked you open. Now let greatness pour out of those cracks. You were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong person. The right one is still out there. Become ready. If this message found you at the right moment, drop a comment saying I choose peace. Share this with a brother who needs to hear it today. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join this community. We're building kings here. One video at a time. Stay strong. Stay focused. And remember, your comeback is going to be legendary.